I'm going to do the daily tarot reading, and this is for the collective, and this is also a timeless reading, so this is for whatever you feel drawn to hear this message. Also, this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not, then it was meant for someone else. All right, so we're going to get an empowering question. We're going to get some tarot, some clarifiers, and then close out with an oracle. So we're going to pull one of these, the empowering questions. And like this one right here. All right, what kind of advice on life would my old self give to my current self? All right, that's a good one. What would my current self tell my old self? Probably have an awful lot to say, right? I know I would. All right, so let's get some tarot. Ace of Swords, Hierophant, Nine of Cups, Queen of Swords, Five of Wands, Knight of Swords, Two of Wands, Eight of Swords, and Two of Swords. Lots of swords here, right? Lots of thinking. Lots of thinking, lots on your mind, lots going on. I'm trying to make it so you can kind of see there. All right, so overall energy, we have the Two of Swords, and that is about making a decision on something, but you don't have all the information. That's why her eyes are covered. And it's about looking at all sides of the situation before you decide to, you know, have your answer, that you look at the negative, the positive, the good, the bad, the ugly, and kind of sorting through that before, like, not just reacting to something, not just giving an answer to something, but thinking about all of the possibilities. Sometimes it helps just to write those down, so that way you can kind of get them out of your head and you can see, okay, this is the good column, this is the, you know, the positive column, the pros, the cons, however you want to do it, just being able to write those things down and then see it. For current energies, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. So I feel like it's getting rid of the negative, right? Get rid of the negative. Get rid of the I can't. Get rid of the excuses on why something isn't going to happen. And start focusing on it's going to happen. Start focusing on what are my goals, what are my wishes, what are my dreams, what do I want to have happen, right? What are those things that I want to focus on? And I feel like with these two cards at the end, I feel like it's getting rid of the negative energy, getting rid of the negative thoughts. Stop talking yourself out of doing something. Stop finding the excuses why you can't do something. It's really easy. It's almost like, kind of, if that's just something to think about, that if that's where your mind goes about how there's something that you want to do but you're talking yourself out of it, is that the pattern that you've been doing, right? What would I tell my current self to my old self? Is that the pattern that you kept doing, that as soon as something comes up, you get overwhelmed and you're like, no, I can't do it because of this or because of that? And so you've gotten yourself into that pattern of talking yourself out of things, why you can't have things happen, or why things will not happen for you. Like if you say, I want a brand new house, but I know that's not going to happen to me because, you know, I don't make enough money at my job, or, you know, the prices are really high, you know, just coming up with all these things and saying why I can't. And kind of telling your old self to say, stop talking yourself out of those things that you want, and start finding those ways to make things happen, of what you want to make those things happen, right? And I feel like that's what you want to do. Like that's kind of talking to yourself and saying, am I in this pattern where I'm constantly talking myself out of things? For future energies, we have the Five of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. I feel like it's almost like you come to that realization that that is the pattern, that you kept doing that back and forth, and that you finally kind of realize that, okay, I have to kind of move forward and take that leap of faith, right? Because he's on the horse and he's about ready to take, you know, to walk off the edge, but he's got his sword up in the air, and he has the eagle which represents success and victory and heading in the right direction, and that you can take on any of the challenges and saying, I can do this. Kind of at first maybe you're kind of going back and forth and saying, I don't know, you know, but then looking toward it, it's that path, right? It's that decision. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in the old energy where you're saying I can't do something, or do you want to go in the new energy that heads towards the light and says I can do it, and then not holding yourself back anymore for attaining your goals and attaining the, you know, this Nine of Cups. I feel like you're kind of at this crossroads right now, right? What is it that you want to do? I'm thinking it's that one. I feel like the light is being affected. All right, so let's get some clarifiers. Sometimes I feel like a lot of it is, what is that energy that we are projecting onto ourselves, right? Sometimes I feel like we don't make the best decisions for ourselves, and we almost sabotage ourselves. We're talking ourselves out of things. I definitely hear that with a lot of people, especially with me having a YouTube channel, and where I have a job where I'm a cashier, and so I tell other people that I also do this, and they're like, oh my gosh, I always wanted to do it, but you know, I think that'd be really cool, but I can't because, or I've always wanted to have an Etsy shop, but I can't because, or I've always wanted to do this and I can't because, and I'm like, and I say, why are you talking yourself out of it? Like, I'll just say, like, why are you saying that? Like, if it's something that you want to do, then start researching and finding those ways to make it happen. Like, a lot of people just talk them, they're like, oh, I could never do that, I could, and it's like, well, yeah, you can, like, give it a try. You know, stop talking yourself out of it. The Sun card, right? Start focusing on the positive. What are those things that you can do that will kind of help you to get rid of those negative feelings, those I can't feelings, okay? Sometimes if we do research and say we look on YouTube, or we start doing some research and we see other people who have gone down the path, say you want to open an Etsy shop and you want to sell soap and candles or something, and so you kind of look at those other companies, those other businesses, and you kind of see what they did, and if they give tips, or they on the things that they wish they had known, or they hadn't known, or they didn't do, or looking into that and researching things and finding those things out, right? And kind of that helps, having that knowledge helps you to feel, I feel more secure and more confident about what it is that you want to do. All right, yeah, it's exhausting, right? It's exhausting. It's almost exhausting to, like, why you're talking yourself out of things, right? Like, oh, it's exhausting to be so negative, but it's exciting to be positive, right? And get excited about doing something, and excited about having this Nine of Cups and reaching your goals and having things happen. All right, the Emperor, that's exactly what I was saying. The Emperor is somebody who is prepared, somebody who is knowledgeable, somebody who knows the direction that they want to go in. They research, they find out ways to make it happen. Finding the way to make it happen, being more knowledgeable, that gives you that kind of, that security of knowing, okay, this is the steps that I have to take, this is where I will have to go, this is what I need to do, right? Page of Pentacles, change to the positive, right? Focusing on the positive. Let's see, we've got two here. We have the Page of Cups and we have the Moon, right? We don't know what's going to happen when we set out, right? If you have, I didn't know what was going to happen with this YouTube channel. I just kind of had this feeling that this is what I wanted to do. I didn't know where this is going to go. I don't even know where this is going to go. I don't even know what's going to happen. But it's that feeling good and feeling like it's a direction that I want to go in, right? That gives me that energy to want to keep pushing forward, to keep moving forward, because that's a good feeling, rather than being in something and doing something, talking myself out of it, and then doing something that I don't really want to do. All right, Hangman, seeing things from a different perspective, right? That's what I was saying from the beginning, and that's kind of what that first card is what kind of advice on life would my old self give my current self? My old self? I would say my current self give my old self. I think that sounds better because I feel like old self give my current self. I would say it should be the other way around, but whatever way you want to take it, because I feel now that I am stronger and in a much better place to be able to help my old self through things. And I feel like that's what this Hangman is being able to see things from a different perspective, that you're not seeing things the same way that you used to. And like I was saying, is looking at how do you react to things when somebody says, you know, what are your dreams, what are your wishes, what are your goals, and you say, well, I've always wanted to do this or do that, but I can't because this and that, and like, do you to go to the negative, right? And saying, you know, being able to step back and look at that and say, well, instead of me going to the negative, me saying, yeah, like, I'm going to pursue this, I'm looking into it, I'm looking to see how I can make this happen, and kind of changing that perspective and that attitude around. All right, so let's close out with Animal Oracle. I don't think I would have anything my old self would tell my new self. Something to think about, and that's what I like with my channel, is like, that's kind of one of my goals, is just to give you something to think about, to see things from a different perspective. Because like I've said before, the Hangman, oh, look at that one, just pop, cards are popping out everywhere. That's my favorite card, is because it's about being able to take a step back and see things from a different perspective, and to shed a different light on it, right? And you can learn a lot from that. Again, so this one just popped out. I don't know, my finger must have hit it. So the Judgment card is that awakening, that renewal, that revival, kind of, again, with the Hangman, seeing things from a different perspective, feeling alive, feeling like, yeah, like I can make this happen, right? I can figure this out. I can head towards my Nine of Cups. All right, we have Flamingo Spirit, embrace the in-between. So I feel like that's embracing the now, looking at the now, right? Because if you're in that in-between stage of kind of focus, you know, that Nine of Cups where it's like, oh, I always went to the negative, but then you start thinking, well, you know what, I guess I am always going to the negative, so I need to start focusing on that positive, and what are those things that I can do, and kind of looking, being in the moment now, not kind of skipping a step, just embracing what's going on now and what you're learning now, and taking that and moving forward. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.